30 days ago, I flew from Cyprus, my home country, where I've been born, where I've lived my whole life, all the way to Colombia, Medellin, to just focus on becoming the best version of myself, skyrocketing in every aspect, to truly see what one is capable of when they completely dive away from their comfort zone. Or in other words, just jump in the deep end. Now, before we dive into it, I just want to clarify something. If you came to this video to just entertain yourself or to just chill before you go to bed, this probably isn't the best thing to do, and I would highly encourage you to click off, because it's really not going to be fun, but it's going to be raw and it's going to be valuable. Now, if you came to this video to view this transition from another perspective, which nobody really offers nowadays in the self-development space, then you're at the right place. I welcome you. My name is Miro, and let's dive right into it, because I have a lot to share and I am very excited. Alright, it's currently 4 a.m. in Bulgaria. 18th of August 2024. I just purchased my tickets for Medellin, Colombia in exactly 29 days. Me and my boy will be going there. It's going to be a brand new beginning. I'm sure it's going to be crazy in terms of the progress and growth, but it's a big step. Definitely a big step out of the zone. Definitely a solid investment. I'm sure it's going to be crazy. Let's see what happens. 6 months ago, I graduated high school, and while everybody else was discussing how they're going to go to uni, how they're going to have a fantastic time, how they're going to learn so many things, and how they're going to prepare themselves for the future, I was lucky enough to see that if you are someone like me who just wants to evolve in every aspect possible and realizes that nowadays the educational system will not provide you with what is necessary to achieve absolute excellence in every aspect, then it wouldn't be too hard for you to see that uni will not take you too far, and it will take you a lot longer compared to just investing in yourself, in the sense of educating yourself, not just relying on other people to educate you, because nobody else wants you to succeed as much as you want to succeed yourself. Now, to be quite frank with you, throughout summer, I wasn't sure whether I was going to make this move, to fly across the whole planet. I knew I was going to do it, but I didn't see it. Like, I couldn't imagine myself doing that. Mid-August 2025, me and my best friend, we actually decided to pursue this. We just hop on a call around 2 a.m. Are we going to do this? Let's secure the tickets. And until the moment we pressed on the purchase button, nothing felt real. And not only that, after that as well, when you saw that the money was drafted from your bank account, it just didn't feel real. So weeks go by, as the flight approaches, nothing feels real. Like, I don't actually feel that I'm going to make this move. But then, one day before that, the shock hits. The shock hits, and it hits hard. It's like a liver punch. You realize that everybody you know, everything you know, just changes out of nowhere. The flight was at 4 a.m. Up until 8 p.m. that night, I was just living my normal life, seeing the people I cared about, doing what I cared about, and just like I used to do for the past couple of months before I moved. And then the shock hit. You realize that your flight is in 6 hours, so you have to actually prepare yourself. So I prepare myself, and then I realize what I'm doing with my life. If you're from Europe, Colombia doesn't have the best image. When people heard that I'm coming to this beautiful country, they thought I was crazy. They thought I was just mentally unwell. Why would I come to Colombia at 19, no ability to speak the language, nobody who I know lives here either? Well, it is what it is. We got on the flight, first flight, Cyprus, Serbia, Switzerland, Madrid, and then Madrid, Medellin. Alright guys, we made it through the first trip here, first flight over to Serbia. Now we're hopping onto the next one.
Oh yeah.
There's my boy.
Oh yeah.
Didn't manage to get any sleep in, but it's all good.
Take the boost.
Taking the boost.
Let's see what happens next.
We arrived here. Nothing felt real. We opened the door into our apartment. The host waits for us. It was about 1 a.m. local time. Fantastic apartment. Nothing feels real. That's the truth, and I'm gonna be saying this a bunch in this video, so prepare yourself. Because it has a lot to do with what I want to touch on later on that will actually help you implement what I'm saying into your own movie or otherwise into your own life. Because the point of this is not just for me to yap and just to share how cool this move is, but to actually be able to extract what I'm saying and implement this into your own life. Now, the first impression of this place, the best way to describe this is just by telling you, think of Bali, but think of a city in the same place. This is a great city, but in a jungle. This is the best way, and maybe it sounds silly, but that's how I describe it to everybody I talk to. This is a fantastic jungle in a fantastic city. So you get everything you want as far as the urban life goes, malls, activities, anything you think of, it's here. But also looking at it from the other perspective of nature, beauty, and health, it's also here, full of trees. Now the first change that I want to touch on, which appeared about a couple days into the journey, was the realization that you have nobody else to rely on. And even though this sounds scary, it actually is super powerful, because you realize you go from living with your parents, having them cook for you, having them provide you with everything you need, anything that upsets you, they can always reach out to them, and it's always like sorted. Funny enough, before coming here, I didn't know how to do the laundry myself. I probably shouldn't be saying this because I'm scoring own goals here, but it doesn't matter. I didn't know how to do my own clothes before coming here. So simple tasks like doing everyday activities on your own is so powerful, and nobody tells you this because everybody talks about building confidence and being the best version of yourself, but nobody tells you how stacking these little everyday tasks is what's going to build that strong foundation for you to build on through the bigger tasks, whether it's work related or anywhere else. You doing your own laundry, you washing your own dishes, you cleaning your own room, you having to iron your own clothes. No backup, so you have to back yourself up. This discomfort or this realization of not having anybody to rely on and just having to do everything yourself is so powerful because it allows you to see that, okay, it's actually not that scary. Second biggest change, connections. Throughout my stay here, I've been lucky enough to meet people who have hit multiple 5-figure months when myself, I haven't even gone halfway there, which truly motivates you and makes you realize that you have a lot of work to do. And if you're someone like me who comes from an Eastern European background where hitting a 3K month is something admirable, then this mental reframe is absolutely necessary. Going from being in an environment where you make the most out of everybody around you, whether it's your age or above that, to just going to an environment where everybody around you makes so much more than you, makes you realize that you have a lot of work to do. Number 3, and this is huge, changing environments, and this doesn't have to do with specifically coming in Colombia, will allow you to genuinely be more focused. How? Very simple. Back in Cyprus, when I had so many people I could hang out with, so many activities I could do, it would just not make sense for me to sit down and work because I had so many better things to do. And yes, we talk about being disciplined, we talk about just doing the right things, delaying gratification, but this is always easier said than done. If you just move yourself from the environment where you have all these distractions towards your growth, and you position yourself somewhere else where you have no distractions, because really the comfort zone when I came here was just me sitting at home on my laptop and just working. It would be harder for me to go out and do fun stuff rather than just sitting at home and just working. So yeah, this is a huge tip. If you want to absolutely bombard your productivity, moving away from your home environment will help you a lot. In that sense, the 3 key components that allow people who move away from their hometown to somewhere else, whether it's Bali, Thailand, Colombia, or whatever, to find this huge progression out of nowhere is the following 3 things. Firstly, mindset. The mindset shift which I got from seeing people who are ahead of me and realizing that 5-6 figure months are nothing too crazy. Second, the increase in output, meaning you sit down and work harder, because it's a lot easier to sit down and work harder when you're not home, you don't know anybody here. And thirdly, the stack of character traits, meaning no matter which business model you follow, and I used to make this mistake as well, we'll get into that in a second, no matter which business model you dive into, you can always find success. Any business model works. However, you have to make that business model work. The third principle, which allows people to make a huge progress when they move abroad, away from their hometown, is that they develop those character traits a lot easier, simply because they're away from comfort. So let's summarize. Firstly, mindset, meaning programming your brain the way that people who are ahead of you have programmed themselves. And that's not only in the way that you need to manifest and just say I'm going to be successful, but also just seeing that this is nothing impossible and there is no reason why you wouldn't be able to do it. And this is important because back in Cyprus, I used to believe that I can do it, and I knew I could do it, but I didn't see it visibly. That okay, 50k per month is nothing crazy. I had set this view in my head, but I didn't truly believe it. Now, because I've seen it in first person, I truly believe it, and this allows me to get to that milestone a lot faster, because I see how easy it is and how doable it is. Secondly, the higher output, obviously this is self-explanatory. You work more, you make faster progress. You procrastinate less, you get more work done. Thirdly, the character traits. You grow up a lot faster. And this is something that not many people my age want to accept. But if you want to get results which people who are a lot older than you get, you have to create the identity of that person. Meaning, I can't see myself as a salesman or as an entrepreneur and think as a 19-year-old. You have to fast forward your progress and grow up a lot faster. And this is not so nice. Now, how would this apply to your own case? You don't have to move across the whole planet if you want to develop yourself. But the purpose of this video is to showcase that you have to take the leap. Everything that you want to achieve is at the other side of fear, discomfort, and execution. You're afraid to make the first step, you don't want to face discomfort, and you don't want to put in the work. If you remove all these 3 and you actually do the opposite, meaning you take action regardless, meaning you pursue it regardless, you face the discomfort because you realize that you have to grow if you want to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And thirdly, you have to sit your ass down and work. If you've watched this all the way to the end, I would highly urge you to go down to the comments and share some feedback on what you felt was useful and what you felt like you knew already, just so I can have a better picture of where my audience is currently at, so we can help all of you guys go from being in your current state to get to that desired state, as I am doing at the moment. Once again, stop sabotaging yourself, aim high, realize what you need to do to get where you want to get, and do it regardless of how it feels.